Now I'm going to be talking about some root causes, some issues of Biscayne Bay's coral degradation and pollution. One issue is runoff. Runoff is basically water that flows over land and enters bodies of water, often after rainfall. An example would be when stormwater runoff carries pollutants like fertilizers, pesticides, and sediments into the bay. These substances can lead to nutrient pollution, which encourages harmful algal blooms that smother corals, reduce water quality, block sunlight, and deplete oxygen in the water, harming corals. Another root cause and issue would be climate change. Climate change is basically a long-term change in temperature and weather patterns that's largely driven by human activities. An example of this affecting Biscayne Bay's coral degradation and pollution is rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification, which both are driven by climate change. Elevated temperatures can also cause coral bleaching, where coral expel the symbiotic algae and provide them with nutrients. Increased CO2 levels can lead to more acidic waters, making it more difficult for corals to build their calcium carbonate structures. Another root cause would be overshifting. Overshifting is the overexploitation of marine resources, particularly in fish population. Overfishing depletes important species like herbivores, fish, disrupting the ecosystem balance, and allowing harmful algae to overgrow and outcompete corals. Depletion of key species that help maintain a healthy coral ecosystem leads to increased algae growth. Ecosystems leading to increased algae growth. The last root cause that I'm going to be talking about today is coral urbanization. Coral urbanization is the development and expansion of urban areas along the coast, which can disrupt natural habitats. In this case, we're disrupting the coral reef. It can cause habitat loss, altered water flow, and increased sedimentation that smothers corals. Coastal development destroys natural habitats and alters water flow, leading to an increased sedimentation that smothers coral and reduces sunlight.
So to follow this issue, we see the lasting effects that they can have on our environment in a negative way, and their negative impacts. The first one being less biodiversity. Because coral reefs serve as a large habitat for many species, their degradation will result in less biodiversity and therefore make the population more vulnerable to stressors. As we see in the image, it shows a farm with only one type of crop, so less biodiversity. We also see a disrupted ecosystem services. One example includes, for example, local fisheries. They may lack fish without these coral reefs, or additionally, coastal communities can be more harmed without coral reefs, leaving them without that protection and that erosion damage that we see in the image to the right. Some more effects that follow this problem that we're facing in Biscayne Bay include the increased production of algae blooms. Due to the excess in produced algae blooms, sunlight may become blocked and prevent photosynthesis, which results in an unbalanced ecosystem. We see an example of that in the image to the left. And then an additional effect is increased competition. With the diminishing of coral reefs, this allows for invasive species and algae to outcompete species and causes a major shift in the ecosystem, such as the image on the right, where we see an increased competition for a species. All of this is caused by, all of these effects follow the current problems that we're facing with the coral reefs in Biscayne Bay.
A final effect that can be followed through this issue that we see here is disrupted migration patterns. Without coral reefs, migration pathways are disrupted as they serve as a great source for species, resulting in diverse migration routes and failed reproductive rates. These species may be seeking alternative routes, and they may not be able, without coral reefs, they have even less areas to breed. So humans have a major impact within all of this. Humans play a crucial role in both the degradation of Biscayne Bay's coral reefs and the potential for restoration. For example, pollution from urban runoff, overfishing, and habitat destruction. All of these are direct consequences of human activity. However, individuals and communities can still take action to help ease these effects and help our population. The degradation of Biscayne Bay's coral reefs is a pressing issue that requires immediate attention and action. Every individual can contribute to the health of this vital ecosystem. By making informed choices and advocating for sustainable practices, we can help restore and protect these unique habitats. Together, let's commit to safeguarding Biscayne Bay for future generations. Because a healthy bay means a thriving community for both wildlife and humans. You must act now to protect our precious coral reefs. And just know, you can help.